Hey, welcome to Next Level Auto Club Miami. You got Anthony. Anthony. And you got my partner, Jay, right here.
What's up? What's going on, everybody?
How y'all doing? So we're here to talk about today. Our topic today is going to really basically be on what Next Level Auto Club is, what we stand for. One of the basic things is we're not just a car company that's going to sell you a car. We're basically a lifestyle. We'll help you build your profile and better your life. I'm going to let Jay talk about it a little bit more.
All right, so the main topics we're talking about today is how we're gonna help you structure your business as a car sales company, as an overall team. So pretty much like what we do for people in general, once they want to start getting into the car industry, is we look at their personal profile, we look at their personal credit, we analyze it, see what the credit score is like, we see if they're eligible to get cars under the business names, get some type of line of credit for the car so we could buy some cars in the auction, get them for cheaper, sell them for more. So you buy a product for $1, which is an asset, and you sell it for $2. So essentially what you want to do is make sure that anything you buy is an asset. You don't want to gamble your money. You don't want to hope that a product is going to win. This is a guarantee. This is you buying something for $1 and you're selling it the next day for $2. So that being said is one of the most important things we do look at is personal credit. We try to see how we could help their credit improve so we can go ahead and get lines of credit, build their business based on credit, not have to use cash capital. I mean, you're always going to need a little bit of cash because any business requires cash to establish, but we're not asking you guys to build the foundation. We already have the foundation built. All we're asking people is basically if they want to be involved with us is use their credit, be able to get cars, to be able to buy for $1 and sell it for $2.
But also another thing is like we actually show you how to actually leverage your credit, take out cash so that if you don't have cash, we can help you get it. And it's real simple. All you need is a 700 credit score. We could even show you how to go ahead and create your own company. We could show you how to go ahead and get into a company where now you could go ahead and get some money, and now you can leverage it. You could buy vehicles. You could do whatever you want. Buy kits for the cars to up the value on the cars.
Right.
So basically, cash is not an issue. The main thing you want to make sure you focus on is your credit, because without your credit, like you're gonna be on a mission. Nobody wants to use their own money, but you gotta remember that you gotta be very disciplined and you gotta understand credit. That's where we come in hand. We'll teach you how to go ahead and use your credit to get cash, to get vehicles. And I know it sounds simple the way I say it, but it really is simple steps. If you listen to us, we hold your hand and we guide you through the whole process. So we're not just trying to go ahead and just sell you a car. We're really just gonna make sure your life is better. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, you want to buy a car for a cheaper price, you come to us. Like what we usually do for all of our clients is they could save money with their resale tax certificate. So we know certain ways to be able to get a car much cheaper than anybody else. You come to us, we're going to guarantee you to try to help you to pay the least amount of money. And we're going to try to get you the least APR interest on any loans for vehicles. So we know the banks that we could attack, that we could be like, okay, cool. So we negotiate with the banks and we could be like, okay, look, this customer's credit here, but we need them at this certain APR. You know, you want to make sure you don't get killed with a 10, 20% APR interest. You know what I mean? That's one of the most important things. And you also want to essentially get loans under your business name and build your business credit. So our main customers, they come to us is because they know that they don't want to put these vehicles under their personal name. They don't want to affect their DTI, which is debt to income ratio. You know, I mean, people want to essentially have their credit, personal credit to use to buy assets like properties. And, you know, by you having 5, 10 vehicles under your personal name, you're affecting your debt to income ratio. So a bank's not even going to loan you any money at all. They're not even going to loan you $1 due to the fact that you have at least over 30 to 20%, credit usage being holding up on your credit. You don't want that. You know what I mean? So the most important thing you want to do is come to us, make sure that we transfer all the cars that you do have from your personal credit to your business name. So we have banks that we work with that we're able to transfer all your auto loans from your personal name to your business name. Now, once a company is established and we establish your company, and that's what we do for you, we establish your company. If you don't have a company, we actually get one established for you that qualifies for all those requirements. And the second step is once we get that company, we'll go ahead and get you the actual amount that you're owed on your auto loan. We'll transfer that loan from the personal name to the business name. So you got to remember, your business is its own entity. It's like its own person. It has a tax tax ID number, which is kind of works like a social security number. So you have to look at it like you're kind of transferring your personal auto loan to your business auto loan, which essentially is a whole different entity, it's a whole different person, which you control.
But let's talk about why that's so big. Because now we transfer it to your business. Now you start building business credit organically. You don't got to get no trade line. I've seen people go ahead and get scammed talking about give me 50,000 for this trade line for the business. No, we teach you how to get your own organic trade line so that you could build the business the right way, which will help you get credit cards, funding, whatever you want. Another thing I wanted to touch on was he was talking about the interest rates. Basically, with interest rates, if you guys go to any dealership, like we treat our people like family. So we're not trying to go ahead and hit you on the head with a crazy interest rate, make crazy money in the back end. We want to be partnered up with you. We want to be a team, because that's the only way we're going to get stronger. So now what we do is that you go to these dealerships, you think a $80,000 car per se, they'll tell you, okay, we're going to give you a $4,000 discount. You're going to pay 76. So now you think you're winning, but you're not looking that they're actually making money on the interest now. So they're going to play with the interest rate, put it up just for their advantage. We're very transparent with everything. We want you to pay MSRP and we want you to pay the lowest amount APR. We're not interested in taking your money, putting you in debt. Our goal is actually to help you get out of debt. Because one of the biggest things that hold people back from an 800 credit score, and I see it every day, I could get somebody's credit, put it from a 700 to an 800 by just telling them to pay off their debt. If you're under 10%, your credit jumps. A lot of people are at 70, 80% credit usage and their credit scores hits a plumber, it's like at 680, 690, but they got no derogatories, they got no late payments. The difference is being responsible and actually paying down your debt. And one of the biggest things you could do is get business credit. So now when you got business credit, that doesn't affect your personal credit. So now when you use your credit card, you max out your credit card on your business, it's still not affecting your personal. But now you go ahead and you max out a card on your personal, you're done. So your personal is only supposed to be used for your phone bill, your car bill, your rent. Hopefully you pay your rent or your mortgage. If you pay and you're responsible, you're supposed to use your credit cards for that, so that at the end of the day, the banks see you're using the money, because you don't want it to sit there and not use nothing. You want to be able to use it because these banks want to see that you're actually using their money. That's the reason they're lending it to you. That you're just not holding it hostage, because they want to make their interest rate as well. Eventually, they want to make some money. That's the reason they're going to give you money. You can't expect me, you come over here and you ask me for some money, that I'm like, oh, here. Let's say an example. I find out Jay owes 3 different people $40,000 and he comes to me to borrow some money. I'm going to be like, I'm not going to give him nothing. I'll give him $500 instead of anything, because he's a high risk. The banks are just like people. The AIs are set up just to read you, and you got to make sure you use your credit card, but you pay it down. So if you're the type of person to just build up your credit and now you owe all this money, you find yourself in a big mission. No bank's going to give you no money. You're going to find yourself scrambling. The best thing to do is be responsible, pay down your debt, and leverage your business to use anything. Even if it's, let's say you're in a bad time, use your business credit. That will bail you out. That will help you out. But now you use your personal and now you're done. But a lot of people don't know about business credit, so they stay personal. People will have a business account for years and not even use business credit. So it's we're trying to bring more awareness. So not only does that help you, that helps us out, because now you could go ahead and put a down payment on a vehicle. It makes our job a lot easier. And again, we're a team.
And it also builds your business credit. Your business credit is just like your personal credit. You have Dun & Bradstreet that, they basically report to all the creditors as well. And a lot of companies look at Dun & Bradstreet. So you want to make sure you're building your business credit as well.
Yeah, business credit is big. It's bigger than building your personal credit. I mean, your personal credit always has to be on point unless you got some assets you could actually put up for your business. Because if not, you're always going to be a personal guarantor. And if you're not a personal guarantor and you got nothing on the business is not going to get you, you're not going to get no money. So don't listen to these people that are selling you a dream, telling you I could get you business money and you don't even have to have good credit. Because no, that's definitely a lie.
So, Ant, tell me, what would you suggest if I was a person that wanted to get into a business in buying assets, which is buying something for $1 and selling it for $2, like cars? If I wanted to get into the car business and just be as an investor, what would the outline be for me?
I think honestly the outline would be, first we gotta look at your profile. If you got a car under your personal profile, we need to make sure that we could transfer that car to the business.
Okay.
All right, so the first step is transferring any debt that we could get off.
So basically the first step is you're gonna analyze my credit. You're gonna see all the debt that I have and see how you could alleviate. If you have any auto vehicle loans, you would be transferring all of my car loan to my business credit. So now essentially I have a paid off car under my credit. Like let's say if I have an $80,000 loan, well, guess what? You're transferring it from your personal to your business. Now I have an $80,000 auto primary trade line that's paid off on my loan.
That's big.
On my credit, right?
That's
okay,
big.
Yeah, that's big.
That helps you out for a house too.
Yeah,
Want to buy a house? You got purchasing power now.
Right.
Once you pay off something like that, which that's what happens when we go ahead and transfer to the business, you get purchasing power. So then the next step will be, now we transfer to the business. Now you want to go ahead and get some cars. I always recommend now get some money. Your credit's good. Now let's get you some money. We could guarantee if your credit's okay, guarantee you minimum $50,000.
So basically you're telling me the next step after I go ahead and transfer my car from my personal name to the business name is get lines of credit through my business, because now my personal credit is healthy. The banks will look at all my personal debt to income ratio and they'll use my personal credit score for the business loans, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So how much money do you think we could possibly get, you think?
Minimum 50,000.
Okay, 50,000. And depending on the credit though, right? Because
Depending on the credit.
we've gotten some people 50,000, some people we've gotten 300,000, some people we've gotten 500,000. You know, we got one guy that got approved for a business loan for $250,000. You know, I mean, there's private banks, there's commercial banks as well. You know, I mean, we help you do that from A to Z. So what else do you think would be the next step after I go ahead and transfer my personal car from my personal name to my business? That's step one. Now it's paid off. Now I get capital. I get 200 grand in capital, for an example.
Now you get the 200 grand. Now you can't panic.
Okay.
Now you got 200 grand. You probably never seen 200 grand.
Right.
So now you see it. Don't go look at the jewelers. Don't go nowhere. You know, you really want to stay the course.
Right.
So the next step is going to be, now you get the money. Now we could help you go ahead and purchase, let's say, an example, a G-Wagon.
Okay.
We get you a regular G550.
Like that car.
The best thing is about that,
Nah.
what can we do with that money now? Now we got 200 grand. Now let's say with a good profile, the car costs about 160K. You put down $10,000 on the car.
Okay.
And then now we got the car in our hands. Now what we could do is get a Bravis kit and install the Bravis kit on the car.
Right.
What does that do? That
Brings value to the car.
and it helps you book it out for an extra probably $50,000 to $60,000.
Okay. So that means another thing, LTV, which is loan to value, which everybody needs to understand. I mean, Ant, can you explain something about the LTV? Because that comes hand in hand with what we're doing right now.
Yeah, different banks give different LTVs, loan to value of the vehicle. You know, some of them give 100%, some of them give 110%. That's where we come in hand. The LTV, like, that's what a lot of people don't know when they go to dealerships. If you don't even ask them what the finance guy, because you can't ask the car salesman what's the LTV, he's not gonna know. He's gonna send you straight to the finance guy. So when you go LTV, we got the banks to make sure we give you the highest loan to value. That's where we go ahead, we check your VIN number, we check your miles, and we make sure you get the most for your car.
Right. So basically LTV is making sure the car books out at the price that is registered nationally.
Correct.
So, okay, that makes sense. So once we get the G-Wagon and we put the Bravis kit, we added value to it. Let's say another $100,000 value, I would say. I mean, usually guys right now are getting the G550s. I've seen a lot of people get G550s, put a Bravis kit, that's an extra 100 grand that they put into it roughly, and they're selling the car for 300 grand. I mean, they're making $50,000 to $100,000 profit roughly from what I see. So, I mean, yeah, I would love to do that. Even if I don't put a kit on it or put wheels on it, I mean, you getting a car at MSRP, you could still sell it for another 15, 20% LTV. You know, that's what the banks do.
Yeah, because we help you purchase the car at the right price, so you're not losing out the door. Right when you leave, you could actually sell it, but a lot of banks don't want you to sell it, so you got to keep the car. But the best thing about it is that, you know, you go ahead and you purchase it, and we're able to go ahead and get you an extra 40 to 50,000 on the car. So now you build that. Now let's say you get 40, 50,000 extra on the car. Now what do? We sell that car. Now you build your profile even more.
Well, how about meanwhile? Like, let's say it takes about 3 to 6 months to sell that car, because usually that's the estimated time that it takes to sell a car, about 3 to 6 months for us.
I would recommend renting it out to high value customers.
Okay.
Not customers that are going to trash the car, be disrespectful. Someone's going to actually put a deposit down and have a good driving history or have a good history with us.
And have insurance. I mean, essentially, a lot of people are renting without insurance. You want to make sure you have a commercial insurance to be able to insure the car. And we have commercial insurance. So you want to make sure that you always protect your car. It's an asset. It's like renting out your house to somebody and letting them acquire it without having homeowners insurance, renter's insurance, if you want to call it, you know. But so what else do you think? I mean, renting it, so that will bring, renting it, you'll get like a daily cash flow to be able to pay for the car. So essentially, you don't want to dog out the car. You want to rent it, right?
Rent it just enough to make the payment.
Right. So I rent it for, let's say, about 5 to 8 times a month. You know, make the payment while we're trying to sell it, and then we make money if we can on the rentals, and then we also make money on selling the car. So essentially, you're making everyday cash flow for your business, because that's cash flow for your business. So it's going to help you to get more loans, because that's what banks look for. A lot of banks, they want to see what your cash flow is. They always ask you for the 3 last months bank statements. Why do you think they ask you for the last 3 months bank statement? They want to see how much money you're bringing in as cash flow. So always make sure that any business you have, your last month 3 bank statements are the most important. And you also want to remember the one most important thing is the ending balance on your account. And that's something else that we'll bring up another day. That's what a lot of banks look at. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you get that on point, and then Ant's going to go ahead and explain the next step. What do you think we should do after?
Also, another thing I want to touch on, like if you're going to even rent this car out, you got to understand you put so much money into it that it doesn't matter who it is. You want to go ahead and make sure that you at least get a $2,000 deposit, because the person cannot smoke in the car. They got to be very responsible. And I promise you, if somebody pays $2,000 deposit, they're going to want their money back.
Right.
So they're going to make sure they're on point.
Okay.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no 300. I got a 500 now. No. You need at least $2,000 if you want to protect your asset. That, to me, in my eyes, that's like the best thing.
And usually a lot of people that we deal with, they'll go ahead and they'll put their credit card on file, and we'll hold $2,000 on their card and refund it once they return the car. But
if you don't got a $2,000 deposit, there's no reason you should be driving a $200,000 car.
Amen. Exactly.
You know,
so, all right. So let me just recap. What are we doing? We're first transferring any liability from my personal name to my business name, so I could go ahead and acquire capital through my business, right? Which, let's say we get 100, 200 grand. After we get that money, we'll go ahead and buy cars under the business name, never under the personal. Never buy a car under your personal unless you're trying to build your profile, which essentially you have to at the beginning. But once you build it, you have enough leverage to be able to get business loans. So that's what we're at. So once I get the cars under the business name, right? After that, I go ahead and put aftermarket kits to make the car value go higher so we could sell it for more money, which we have banks that will finance the body kit. They'll finance everything for the customer. So selling a car is essentially easy for us. We just got to find that right customer. So once we put the kit on it, it takes about, let's say, 3 to 6 months to sell the car. Meanwhile, we're renting the car to get cash flow. And then after that, what do you suggest we do? Once we sell the car, what are we doing?
Now we got more power to purchase more cars.
Exactly. He said it. Purchase power, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The power of purchasing becomes crazy. Now you have $160,000 car paid off under your business name. You know, now the banks are going to look at you and be like, okay, I'll lend this guy 160 to 300 grand. This guy just paid a $160,000 loan in the first year. You know what I mean? That's what they're going to see, and they're going to go ahead and they're going to give you what you want. You know what I mean? Now, they're not going to give you millions of dollars, but you got to build to that level where you're in the millions of dollars, where you're revolving millions of dollars, you know? So you want to start with getting a $50,000, $100,000 car, paying that off. Once you pay that off, you want to go ahead to the $200,000 car, get that paid off, and go ahead and go to the 400s, and et cetera, and et cetera.
I mean, eventually we'll have a bunch of Bugattis in here, but that's after building all the profiles.
Yeah, amen.
Show people how to get a Bugatti with zero money down, but nothing good in life comes like the next day. That instant gratification, you think you're gonna get it so fast? No, you gotta build it. We're looking at 2 to 5 years. 5 years from now, if you listen to us, you really will be in a good spot because, I mean, this life is a marathon.
Yeah.
If you're living for right now, you're gonna struggle next year.
And you're listening to guys that I haven't been out more than a year. I got out on June 17th of 2023, last year. It hasn't even been a year I've been out. And we have at least $4 million in inventory. And this is all as soon as we got out. I mean, I was in prison and I was on the phone talking to my friends and telling them, hey, what cars did we get? I mean, I was building this from prison. You know what I mean? So essentially, if I could do it from prison, you could do it from out here. You know? So you could build a $4 million inventory and constantly keep generating you money, building cash flow until you could get to the $1 million loan.
But let's not confuse it either. You could do all this stuff, but you really need the right people. That's the reason why you see what our team has like done, and that's why we want you to be partners with us. Because we can actually hold your hand and actually show you how to build a team, how to put it together. If you just put four or five guys together, you think it's a great team, and people will have misunderstandings. Like, it's very hard to get a solid team. But at least with us, we're a good foundation for you.
Not only that, there's people that don't like teamwork. There's people that just by themselves and they want to be by themselves. That's perfect. We got something for you too. If you want to just focus on doing things on your own, I mean, we could show you how to go to a dealer. If you don't want to buy a car from us and you want to buy it from somewhere else, perfectly, no problem. We'll show you how to go and how to buy a car without getting ripped off, or getting the right APR interest, knowing that you shouldn't be paying sales taxes if you have a corporation. There's certain things that you should be getting essentially done to save the most money you can, because essentially you want to buy the car at the right price. You don't want to buy a car and as soon as you take it off the lot, you're negative $10,000, because you can. I mean, you buy let's say a $200,000 car. You know what taxes is on a $200,000 car? I mean, at 7%,
14.
You know, you're talking about almost close to, I would say 20 grand, close to 20 grand, anywhere from 10 to 20 grand, depends what state you're from, you know? So you're talking about being negative. As soon as you come out the dealership, 10, 20 grand. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to buy the car correct and go in there knowledgeable, knowing that you know more than the car salesperson, and knowing that you know as much as the finance manager, and don't get into debt right away. I mean, a car is essentially like buying a house. You don't want to go and overpay for a house when you could buy the house for a much cheaper price. I mean, we have a finance license, we have a dealer license. We can go to the auction and buy a car. You know, we buy the car and we essentially get it for wholesale. We get it for cheaper so we can make a profit. And you could be part of that team if you want to. But if you don't and you just want to do your own thing, we could still show you how to do it.
I mean, the good part about it too is that we got the professionals. When you guys see this and you guys reach out to us, we got the professionals that will hold your hand through the whole process. We'll go ahead and point you from point A to point Z. We're here to help everybody. So that's one of the biggest things we're putting together. Any questions you guys ask, you could contact us and we will help you make sure you get the best deal. Stop going to these dealerships, getting ripped off, not knowing what you're doing, paying a high interest rate. It's a mess. People just want to go ahead and get things done. No, you got to do it right. So that's what we do. We make sure that you're good longevity. If you want to be good for tomorrow, go to the dealership right now and go buy whatever car you want, pay whatever interest, and think that you got a deal. If you want to do things right, set yourself up right for you, your family, and anybody else you want to orient, go ahead and make sure you reach out to us, and we'll make sure we hold your hand through the whole process and make this easy. You don't even got to think too much. You just got to trust us. And I mean, $4 million in inventory, I think we got a lot of trust behind us.
Yeah. So back to the outline, you guys heard all the steps 1 through Z. I mean, A through Z. So you essentially know what you guys have to do. You guys could always contact us, directly. You guys want to learn about credit. Credit is power. Like I said, we come from a background that we didn't really use credit. Everything was cash. We were paying for cars cash. We were not knowing, we're not knowledgeable. We had to go to prison for a bunch of years to learn about credit, to be able to understand credit and be able to come out and be successful, and we want to teach you that, for the youth, the guys that are essentially from 17 to 35, those are the guys that we want on our team. I'm not saying that the older guys are not good. The older guys are great. We could definitely help you, but they're a little bit already knowledgeable. They've gone what we've gone through. So for the guys from 17 to 35 that really are not knowledgeable on making business or on the streets doing illegal things, like, we're trying to get you guys out. Essentially, what I want to do is help the youth, help people not make the same mistakes that I made, because if I had somebody like me when I was younger, I wouldn't have made the same mistakes that I would have made. I would have saved millions of dollars. You know, I lived every day for women, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, that's just what it was. I bought cars for women, bought jewelry for women. I bought, my life was based on women. Like, everything was getting women. Now I realize, being incarcerated for 6 years, that my mom, my dad, my family, my wife, everybody that was close to me, like, I remember these things that you know, it's kind of hard to understand that for people to be there for you all those years, and for you to come out and fuck up, you have no room for that. Like, we want your life to be based on focusing on the most important things. You have to understand that, you know, there's evil out there in the world, and things are going to happen, and we understand, but we want you to be a better person all around. It's just not about just creating a business, but mentoring you a one-on-one. Like, you could call me like, hey, Jay, man, this is what's going on. Okay, look, this is what you should do. You know, we've gone through this situation. We've gone through a lot of situations that guys from 17 to 35 are going through. You know, we can help you build yourself as a person, as a business person, be part of our team. We're not charging you guys anything. Like, we essentially will make money together, but I'm not charging you no membership fee like everybody out here is charging you $5,000-$10,000 a month. We don't want your $5,000-$10,000 a month. We want to build a business with everybody. We want to be able to help each other and grow.
I want your $5,000-$10,000 a month. No, I'm not. Nah, but you want to know what's crazy? Can you imagine at 17, 18, if we had this knowledge or had somebody to mentor us?
Yeah.
Like, really, like, I was so oblivious to so much. I just thought getting cash. Like, it's crazy what knowledge would have done at such a young age.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, you know, Ant could tell you, like, you know, we've been making millions of dollars since we were young. I mean, I had, you know, at 22, 23 years old, I had my first Lamborghini bought. You know what I mean? I had everything. You know what I mean? Boat, house,
we
cars.
had matching Lamborghini.
We had matching Lamborghini. I mean, it was just crazy. You're talking about 2012, 2013. Like, people weren't seeing this, and we just were blowing money stupidly, and eventually we had to go to prison to understand that if I could go back in time, I would have not done none of that. I would have just invested money into businesses.
I think all we worried about back in the days was going back to back into the club. We had to meet up somewhere so we could drive all our cars back to back to back. Like, stupid things that didn't really matter.
Not only that, but, you know, we had I had an addiction myself, you know what I mean? Like, everybody has somewhat an addiction. People are addicted to drugs, people are addicted to certain things, people are addicted to alcohol. My addiction was women. You know, I was addicted to women. I just wanted new women all the time, and it was a bad thing. And there's a lot of you guys out there, like I said, from the age of 17 to 35 are going through the same thing. Like, you guys are just basing your life on women. Like,
but that's a rabbit hole, you know. That's a whole nother story. But when you indulge in anything like women, drugs, or anything like that,
Amen.
Like, it becomes a rabbit hole, becomes a tornado, and it becomes a revolving door. And then you never have a family, because any person that comes into your life, you see the same exact thing. They keep coming in, they're never good enough. It ends up just being like, it's bad. You don't definitely want to get caught up in any bad habits. So yeah, habits are a big period. So when you're around people with good habits, you pick up off of that, and you don't really, you know, it helps you out. But no matter what habit you got, everybody has something bad about them. We got to work on that daily.
Amen.
You know, that's not something you're cured tomorrow. Like, you're not cured from that.
No, never.
I'm not cured from that, but we got a daily reassurance. We got to put in the work
together.
Every day. You got to put in the work. You got to get up ready to put in the work every day. There's no taking a day off. There's no maybe, let me try this today, I won't do it tomorrow. That's like a drug addict saying, let me hit the crack pipe one time and I'm not gonna do it tomorrow. You know, that's it. Once you do it, you're back down that road. So main thing to do is, you know, stay of course.
Like, our friendship, our membership, whatever you want to call it nowadays, what they call it, you know, our mentorship, whatever it is. I mean, we're not going to charge you for nothing. We're here, you know, you could always communicate with us. Like, you know, we're here to build you to the next level. You know what I mean? That's why we named this business Next Level, because we're essentially trying to take everybody to the next level to be better all around.
That's right. And again, I want your $10,000 every month. He doesn't. Nah, I'm joking. Nah, everything's on the house. We just want to spread knowledge. We want to help people out, get them in better situations, and essentially be teamed up with the world. We want you guys to be our team.
And there's a lot of young guys out there, like I said, from the age of 17 to 35 that really are kind of lost. You know, I would call it lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? You guys are just, you guys are just kind of just don't know what to do. And if you want to build yourself to the next level with us and help you grow, and we could do it together. I mean, essentially that's all we want to do. We want to help you grow to the next level, and we want to help grow ourselves, but with you. So that's why we decided to do this business, even this podcast.
Yeah. So I guess don't get lost in the sauce, right? But now you definitely got to stay a course and put in the work every day.
Yeah.
Every day. There's no days off.
You got to be militant. And I say this word every day. Part of your daily struggles is all about being militant, keeping yourself a schedule, building yourself a routine. And once you get into that routine, like if you wake up, if you tell yourself I'm going to wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning, go work out, that's what you got to do. Don't let nothing deviate you from that plan. Like, I guess there's life things that do happen, but build yourself a schedule, get yourself militant. You know what I mean? One of the big word that I want you guys to really put in your mind is the word militant. Once you guys start acting militant and start just programming everything on your day-to-day basis, that's when you could be next level, per se.
We're going to make sure he comes in an army uniform next week, guys, for the militant speech. But yeah, no, definitely got to be militant, got to be on point. And again, put the work in every fucking day.
All right. So, I mean, we just want to thank you for listening and being part. And like I said, you guys are always welcome to hit us up. You have our social medias. Set up a meeting with us. We want to help you progress. If you have money, no money, you have credit, no credit, whoever it is, whoever wants to grow with us, they're more than welcome to hit us up and be part of our team.
At the end of the day, you want to improve your life, just hit us up. If you're comfortable where you're at, don't hit us up because we're not interested. All
right, guys. So this is the conclusion. Follow us at Next Level Auto Club MIA on Instagram. My personal Instagram is jmoguls_Steph.
Mine's @_trust with 2 T's at the end. I think you got to work on your Instagram.
Yeah, definitely.
The name. I think I got to work on mine too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big social media got me in trouble, so I'm trying to stay away.
Mogul_Steph. I don't know. That's a good one. We'll work on that. We'll work on it.
All right, guys. Take care.